Hey everybody, Juan here. Welcome back. I'm here with maybe one of the most nostalgic driven videos I've done here so far because this is Knights of the Round. I'm playing this as part of the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, which is available on the PS4, Nintendo Switch. It's got multiple different beat 'em up games, but I had to play Knights of the Round because this is a game that came out in 1991, and I will assume the version included here is based on the arcade version, which I played a lot growing up. I know this game also came out in the Super Nintendo, and I played that version, but I have so many great memories of this game, and, I thought, why not just play, have a chill session with everybody as I shared some of these stories. But as you saw, this is a 3-player co-op game, and I love the soundtrack, first of all. That's maybe one of the things that keeps me going back to this game. But I also just love the graphics, how everything moves and feels. And I've had a couple of friends play this now, and they tell me, Juan, you always brag about this game, but then I play it, and I don't really feel all that much, and I get it, right? Nostalgia is a real factor. The reason that I wanted to play this game is that when I was a kid, my mom and I would go to Humacao, Puerto Rico. I am from Puerto Rico. And there, we would go to a beach from a family member. My family member had a beach house, so we would go hang out. The problem was that almost no places existed around, like a Sam's or Walmart or anything like that. So we needed to make sure to stop in different places before we got there to get some food. Now, one of the places had a variety of different arcade machines, including this game. And I remember I just always hated this damn boss. These games just ate your quarters up, people. Let's try to get by this first, and then we'll keep talking. Okay, we're making some progress. Oh boy. The good thing about playing this version is I don't need quarters, people, which is beautiful. Although at the same time, I don't know if I'm the only person that, by not having to actually rely on quarters, you feel less invested maybe, because you actually don't need to put in any quarters on your Switch, right? Okay, let's actually try. Almost done. Let's try to take down these ones on the top part. And please stop laughing. Stop mocking me. Let's get some of this gold. Almost. We still have 4 minutes to go. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. And got it. Yeah, stage 1 clear with Lancelot. I love how right there at the end, the enemy comes in like, you think I'm done? Well, actually, yeah, I totally am. I love this about the game. Did it happen here? Oh, not yet, but whenever you level up after a certain amount, you actually get some physical upgrades. You'll actually see their equipment get a lot better. But yeah, I remember whenever I was about to go to that beach house, the thing that I looked forward to was not the beach. I wasn't ever a real fan of beaches, but it was knowing that we would stop at this place, and this was like a mom and pop, not even like a supermarket. We call this in Puerto Rico un colmado, which is just like a place where you buy some food and all that stuff, but it's never the things that you really want, but you kind of need. So they had this, and I believe it was a Neo Geo, like a bootleg Neo Geo machine with metal slugs. So needless to say, it was a beautiful combination. I would like to think that was the combo. This game came out in 91, as I mentioned. I can't exactly pinpoint the year that happened because I went to that beach house for many different years. So as long as we went there, I must have been, I don't know, I want to say 6 through 9 years old when those things happened. And I want to say, like, I never played that machine with anybody else because when we got to that place, that grocery store, it's not a supermarket, let's just call it a grocery store. It was so early that I think even the owner was like, why are you playing this so damn early? But I remember playing this and just having a great time. I don't think I ever progressed all that much because, keep in mind, this was a pit stop. It wasn't like we were going to stop and play or timeout, right? Where it's like, oh, Juan, well, play as long as you want. It was very much a situation of, can you play for like 10 minutes? Because we still got a ways to go. We still got to drive. So I appreciate that my mom gave me that time And I think it's just those little things that anybody that didn't grow up around that time where, you know, you had these special stops. And I'm not talking about game stops, but it was technically a game stop. That you had those special things. Okay, we can continue. We popped in a quarter. Let's try another character now. This one I also liked. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think everybody felt like a badass in these games. I said I felt like a badass. That you take me out. Okay, Jeeves, people, this is not going well. You can adjust the difficulty, by the way, in this Capcom beat 'em up thing. And I'm not justifying me doing bad, but I really do not know what difficulty this is set to. Okay, let's keep trying now. I think we can make some more progress now. One thing that's really good about this collection, even though I haven't taken advantage of it too much, is that you can't play it online. So, say you own this on Switch, for example, and you have a friend that also has it, you can play online. Although I don't think it's ever the same, because I have played some of these online, and honestly, even though you're technically doing it and you can talk to somebody on Discord and try to recreate somewhat of an in-person experience, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. I always found it so odd that these were 3-player co-op games because I had seen, you know, the TMNT Arcade Machine, Simpsons, the X-Men one, and a lot of these were 4-player. So whenever I saw these 3-player ones, it's like, that's a little weird. It makes sense from a logistical standpoint because those 4-player machines were freaking huge, right? And not just that, but they were a little uncomfortable. If you had more than 2 people, I think it was, hey, here's the option for 4-player, but really you kind of want to have a 3-player experience because otherwise you're not going to have a great time. But this was in 91, right? I don't even know when the Simpsons machine came out and TMNT and all that stuff. One thing I hated about this game, though, even though I love the music, the boss fight music was so annoying. It made me so anxious. No, the horse is gone. That's a badass character, though, Broford. Can you imagine if they remade these games in the Streets of Rage 4 style? Something like that? Man, that'd be great. And we have once again lost, which will only be a beautiful excuse to place Arthur now. And we have a friend playing Uno. Let's try this. I've always just been bad at trying to figure out beat 'em up games. To me, it's always been that genre that you kind of mash the button and quarters will get you by. And I really do believe that's part of the initial aspect of it, right? So they just wanted your money. But I've seen people be so good at these games that I just can't figure it out. Like, other games you can kind of understand, like fighting games and all that, but here, it's just like, how do you get better at them? So if you know how, please let me know, because I clearly do not know how. Let's try to take that guy down. I'm trying to be somewhat more methodical. But this damn character's not staying still. Stop moving. My goodness. Okay. Oof. Come on. Man. How many quarters was this back in the day? Because I want to say it couldn't have been 25 cents, right? It must have been 50. So I would have already spent like a $1.50 or something. Damn. This is bad, people. This is bad stuff right now. Almost. Honestly, I want to get by this damn boss just to have the music stop. Because it's also like this super short loop, and it's very obvious. Because it's a very short part of the stage, right? They're not going to dedicate like a whole lot of time to make a 10-second song. There we go, finally. My goodness, people. Stage 2 clear. Let's go by stage 3 here while we just keep having fun, having a good time. And if you like these videos, casual Let's Play sessions where we have this excuse to go back down memory lane, relive some of our favorite games from the past. Sometimes you'll watch me play games I've never experienced before, and it's a great chance to just tag along with everybody, get your responses, get your feedback about these games. Sometimes I'll have people that subscribe to a channel, and they never lived through the arcade generation, which gives you a very different context to games like this. That maybe they don't look visually appealing. Maybe this whole concept of you're going to die a lot, and back in the day you needed to put these quarters in. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? But there is that charm. You know, these games are very short. I think the average beat time of these games is like 40 minutes, I want to say, or something. Because keep in mind, like, you weren't supposed to stay there for too long, because the idea was stop playing or pour enough quarters in, give up, and then somebody else takes your spot and they try to do the same thing. Oh, you know what I just realized? You know what I would love? And I think I'm going to have to do this research after this video. What is like the average amount of money one of these machines would make versus how much they cost? I actually have never bothered to look up that information. And I'm subscribed to a lot of retro gaming channels on YouTube, and I don't really think any of them have dedicated time to that, which is quite fascinating. Because think about that, right? This is supposed to make companies money, but you're spending 25 to 50 cents at a time. And these things, they must have, cost quite a bit to run. The electricity with the CRT monitors. And these are not like your tiny RetroPies nowadays, right? These are huge things. Like, I'm trying to figure out a number right now. I would assume these machines must have cost like $2,000 to $3,000 to develop back in the day. Just based on the average cost of like super expensive PCs that, you know, a regular PC would cost you $1,000, and it was like a really, really slow thing back then. So I will assume this was like maybe $2,000 to $3,000. And then maybe they got like $10,000 back or something. And that's without factoring... Okay, will you please die? Skywalker. Luke, go down. Damn. Let's keep going now. Hey, thank you for the gold. Because that's another thing with these different games is how much beating these machines took. My goodness, because I was like, what? 6 to 9 years old, once again. As a little kid, I was always pretty conscious about that. You know, even though it wasn't my arcade machine. So as a kid, I could have just been like, I don't give a damn if this breaks. I remember being pretty conscious about that and being very picky about, hey, this joystick feels a little too wobbly. Or if you went to a pizza place, hey, these buttons feel a little gooey. Oh my goodness, even just saying that. I couldn't have been the only person that went through something like that though, right? Okay, let's try to take this guy down. Oh snap, leveled up. I think my sword changed, but I'm not exactly sure about that. Regardless though, I think one of my favorite things about going back to these games is really just to appreciate the sprite work. I love this type of sprite work, and you know, when you talk about emulation, I think this Capcom beat 'em up collection also gives you that option. You can smoothen out some sprites, and I get why some people like that. Some people don't like very sharp objects or animations. And even when I first stumbled upon emulation, I was part of that bunch that I would try to do the smoothing out. But now I've just come to appreciate this so damn much. It's just so good to look at this. But one of my dreams, even though I do have a modified arcade 1-up machine, one of my dreams would be to own at least one original arcade. I've seen people that modify it so that way it's like, hey, you can have it be a RetroPie machine, but you can also just press a button or something, and it's still the original model. But you get to use the actual arcade sticks and all that of the original. I would love to have something like that. One of the ones that I've always wanted is the Neo Geo. Like any kind of Neo Geo machine, especially something that ran Metal Slug or Puzzle Bobble. Man, I am getting pummeled here. Like something serious. Please stop laughing at me, tall man. I love the character name, though. Tall man. Like, oh, yeah. Because that makes you scared, right? And also, if you like these conversations, remember, I do have a Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/MrPlayerJuan. You can find the link and all that good stuff in the description of this video. And really, it's just an extended part of these conversations. If anything, that Twitch channel is what sort of persuaded me to do these type of videos where it's just like super laid back, you know. I do love working on videos highlighting very specific things and writing out a script and all that stuff, but there's just something special about, hey, here's a game that means something special to me. You can watch me fail horribly, and we are still having a good time, or hopefully having a moderately good time. And then the Twitch streams are pretty much just an extension of that. Okay, we got some friggin'... They are tigers, right? Oh, no. I wasn't sure if I should commit to calling them tigers, but I went there already, so I guess that's what I'm going with. Okay, 3rd floor now. I have a friend going through some rough times there, but luckily we were able to save the person. Now what? Come to think of it, I'm trying to remember now. Aside from just this game, if there are other beat-em-up games that I've beaten in the arcades, and the only one that comes to mind, and we could actually play it in the future as well. It's, as a matter of fact, it's part of this collection. Come to think of it, is Captain Commando, which I had never played before, but I played at the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Illinois. And there, I beat that. That was like 3 years ago. It was 2017 after Hurricane Maria. And I was there with my wife, with a couple of friends. And the good thing about Galloping Ghost Arcade is you don't actually use quarters. You pay to go in, and then you enjoy the games. But man, I don't know how much we would have spent. I think there came a point in time where we had hit a start so many times. I was like, I must have spent like $10. If in real life, right, if I actually needed to put some quarters, we must have spent like $10, because one of the biggest challenges with these machines is that some places were not as nice as others and put the games at the highest possible difficulty, which meant that you were going to spend some money. Because even right now, I'm clearly not doing great, but I guarantee you most people would have a similar experience, because I just don't think anybody goes into these games thinking like, okay, let's study the frames. Every 2 frames, I'm going to be doing this, and then I'm going to be jumping and doing that. It's a video game. You press buttons eventually. If you have enough quarters, you will win. If anything, it's like, oh my goodness, is this the first pay-to-win game? Or beat 'em ups like the first pay-to-win games? Because if you keep paying, eventually you will win. Even if it's like you can spend $1 or $100. It all depends on how good you are. Like right now, I've yet to even hit this damn enemy. Can I hit you, Arlen? Okay, I hit Arlen now. That's good. I should have kept track throughout this video. Say we were spending 50-cent increments every time I died, how much money I would have spent. Oh, man. I mean, I got 9 minutes to beat them. They don't care, right? They just want my money. One thing that always annoyed me about these games is if you look at the top, it says push start button. Once again, the whole point is get people to spend money. But I'm like, man, this is a console. Can you turn that off? I get it. It's emulation. But still. Oh, my goodness. Okay. We're going to get by this boss, even if it costs us 10 imaginary dollars, people. Oh, now he's got friends. Wait, was that one of my friends? Hopefully. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, kind of doing it. I should have mentioned I'm using a Pro controller. I like to always point out the equipment that I'm using, just in case anybody's curious. I pretty much refuse to use the Joy-Cons whenever possible. If I can not use them, yeah. Okay. We got to freaking beat him with this. Come on, man. Also, just realized, like, he's got a mace. He's got a whole bunch of items. Damn, man. Almost. Yes, finally. 3 stages cleared, and it only took us, I don't know how many times. Check out my character. It's got to be a little uncomfortable, though. Check out, like, he's got a boot on one leg, and then... Okay, will it happen? Come on, please make it happen. Oh, damn it. You probably noticed throughout it, but... Yeah, the characters actually visually change whenever you level up, and I really do appreciate that, but... this game will forever keep going as long as you pour in some beautiful, delicious quarters. I don't even know why I said delicious, but I already said it there. But if you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe. Don't forget I have other videos on this channel, as well as some videos in my main channel, like talking about SpongeBob SquarePants Rehydrated. It is worth buying. And then if you want to watch me continue to fill out games, you can check out a session of me playing Punch-Out on the Nintendo Wii. So up until next time, thank you for watching, supporting, and take care, everybody.